Yo, 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 mi gente. Check this out real quick. I know we jumped the gun about what's next for Edgar the Body Bully Berlanga and King Cash Canelo Alvarez. But as far as King Cash Canelo Alvarez, let's not jump the gun on what's next for him just quite yet. And let's appreciate his greatness right quick.
Toma, hueva, tacho.
VIC SZN
Pa' que sepa, puñeta.
y cabrones.
You already know what's up. This is the universal favorite to fight fans from all nations. Thank you for tuning in to VIC SZN Sports, the number one source for combat news and creations. If you're new to this channel, this is where I like to cover the most latest, greatest, and exciting fight news, while I also elaborate with my personal thoughts, perspective, opinion, so on and so forth. I also allow you guys to comment down below, so you could express yourself, and we could elaborate and, further on the topic. So if this is the type of content you're into, don't hesitate to smash that like button and subscribe to your boy while you at it. But let's get to the topic, man. Listen, and I'm guilty of this. I'm very, very guilty of this. You heard me? I always jump the gun. Once a fighter wins or loses, and there's some type of anticipation or just some excitement behind what's next, I like to know immediately what's next. But there comes a time, and these times come very frequently, where we don't get to appreciate the moment and just live in the moment of someone's greatness. And like I said, I'm guilty of this, right? But what I will say is that I think a lot of this was blinded because of the, fighter selection from Canelo. However, I took a trip down memory lane, and I said, okay, even though Canelo did select Edgar Berlanga, it was still a great fight, but what about before that, right? What has he done before that, right? And, obviously we can't forget about the Triple G's. You know what I'm saying? We can't forget about the Mayweathers. We can't forget about the Cotto. You know what I'm saying? Both brothers. You know what I'm saying? Little bro and big bro Cotto. So, and then when we speak about this weight situation, and there's something that a lot of us overlook, again, I could be guilty of this sometimes, right? Because I get so excited and wanting to see the big matchups right now. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I'm going to stop, for the record. I'm not saying I'm stopping right now. What I'm saying is I'm taking this moment to appreciate King Cash Canelo Alvarez's moment and his greatness. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking this moment to appreciate his greatness. And, we hear a lot of talks about David Benavidez, and I feel like that distracts, being able to appreciate the moment of someone like Canelo Alvarez. But if you've seen how David Benavidez, how he performed his last match at 175, it wasn't the most dominant fight, right? We had Canelo Alvarez just terminate Kovalev, who was an elite fighter at 175. And I'm pretty sure we could all agree that Kovalev at that time, who I believe only had a loss to Andre Ward, was still an extremely dangerous fighter, and is a much, much dangerous fighter than the opponent of David Benavidez at 175. So that leads me to say that's something that could be overlooked by a lot of us fans because of the excitement that we want to see behind Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez, or maybe even some people want to see Bud Crawford. I don't really, but I know some of you guys that do. And this is not to take away from David Benavidez whatsoever. Styles make fights. Sometimes things like that happen. Canelo then faces Bivol and dares to be great. He loses to Bivol, right? Goes back down, takes the titles at 168. So my thing is, I understand, you know, why the fans want to just, you know, jump the gun all the time, is because as fans we can be selfish. And I could see why maybe Canelo stopped caring so much, because when he did make these great, amazing moves, it seemed like for him it might have not been so appreciated, just because the requests that continue to come behind his next fights. And I got a few things to say about that too, just to play devil's advocate, is that, you know, we're in boxing for one, right? So we got to expect, you know, every boxer should expect, listen, this is what comes. This boxing is competition. We want to see the best versus the best. That's what we hope that's what we want out of you as well. That's what we hope that you want too. And Canelo, we hope that you want to fight the best and the best. But I think in Canelo's situation, there's a lot of stuff inside that's taking place that we have nothing to do with. You know what I'm saying? As fans. And, you know, if we all know boxing, we know boxing to be a real dirty game, a real dirty business game. A lot of people get screwed. I know a lot of individuals that I spoke to that was in the boxing game. There's a lot of rumors, even with fighters, when they're done fighting, they end up not getting their money. You know what I'm saying? Then they got to hunt down the promoters to say, hey, where's my bread at? You know what I'm saying? I've dealt with promotional, not as a boxer, you know what I'm saying? But I've worked in, you know, side businesses with businesses, you know, providing some of my skill. And even myself had to deal with certain situations where I was like, wow, this is a pretty corrupted game right here. Yeah, straight. And so I could only imagine at the level of Canelo Alvarez what he had to deal with. And some of the stuff he mentions too, with that Oscar de la Hoya did to him, and, you know, so on and so forth. But that leads me to say this, man. It's when you work your whole life training in the gym, becoming the star that Canelo Alvarez is at this point in time, right? And you accomplish so much, but during that process you got screwed so much as well, and you didn't quit, and you kept pushing, and you kept grinding to the extent where you even went up and dared to be great and defeated a 175 pounder in Kovalev in convincing fashion. You know what I'm saying? Only to lose to Bivol and come back down, becoming disputed, and now everybody still forgets about the stuff that you've done, on top of you being screwed business-wise behind the scenes. Now at this point, I could see how that rebellious mindset could be created for someone like Canelo Alvarez. And now I could see why he may move according to the way he moves, especially now that is the cash cow that he is. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I just wanted, this video is fully dedicated to King Cash, Canelo Alvarez. Just so that, you know, if he ever ran across this video, or just for the boxing world, they could see that, and maybe I could open some eyes for they could take this moment as well to appreciate the greatness of Canelo Alvarez while he is still active. But then we could get back to boxing, right? I hope from there we could get right back to boxing. You know what I'm saying? Where we could get competitive again and be like, yo, you need to benefit this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But at this moment, at this time, I do want to say thank you to Canelo Alvarez for sacrificing time, taking the risk, and doing all you had to do to contribute towards the sport of boxing with the greatness that you possess for us fans to witness worldwide. That being said,
Hold up.
This is the universal favorite to fight fans from all nations. Thank you for tuning in to VIC SZN Sports, the #1 source for combat news and creations.
Toma, huepa, chacho, pa que sepa, puñeta.
Now, before you go and comment below, don't hesitate to drop a little something on my cash app. Don't worry, we got to make sure to bless you with that cash back. While you at it, find that like button, smash that, subscribe to my channel, past that. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you can bring that ass back, and that's that. Why? Cause
VIC SZN got that flavor.
comment below and let me know what's your favorite Canelo Alvarez moment. You already know what's up. Toma.